Oh, hello,
None
Gina.
of us, so none
Hello.
of us, hi guys, none of us look like any of those characters in our intro. We look really good.
I think no. I think we all do. Really. I don't like mine, but it looks like me 45 years ago. But
Well, that again, we got on this trend, y'all, with the whole AI. We kept seeing Chris did it first and sent us a bunch of pictures of himself, and we were like, "Ooh,
and it
yeah,
looks like Chris because
I know."
his looks like a big actor.
I think it depends on what pictures you send them to.
That is
Yeah,
true.
that's
I think it's
true.
what pictures you send them, like how
Because
they how it looks.
what I kept trying to do was send them when we were in LA together at the Hollywood Bowl. I was trying to upload
Yeah,
the
they only
pictures
asked
that
for
we
one
took. We were all
picture.
like, but I was like, so next time we get together, we got to take a proper. We got to hire a photographer and just friggin' take some proper photos, all three of us together.
Well, we were watching a concert, so that was not really good
That is true.
lighting
And
outside.
we were all
How
jammed
was
up.
I looking?
All jammed up. We was all
Mhm.
jammed up. Those pictures are for us. That you see why I didn't put none of them on the gram or any place, because I was like, we was all jammed up and having a good time. It was all about us.
By the way, this week is our 2-year anniversary from the first time that we did it, because I was in Vancouver at this point.
I
That's right.
know you were in Vancouver.
So
Do
the
you
first time that we met,
know
put it that way,
what
the first time we met.
today is? It's our
That's
anniversary.
all. That's all. TT because she brought us all together.
Mhm.
Anniversary. And let me just say, I'm not high today. I know. Let me tell y'all, last week my phone was blowing up. Everybody was like dying. They were like,
That was funny.
they were. It was. Thought it might be a little improper the next morning when I woke up, obviously. But everybody was like, that shit had me rolling. And I did not get high today because I had so much I wanted to talk about with this episode.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
But don't get it twisted. Baby girl is right here that I will be popping towards the end of the podcast.
It's like a garlic clove.
I cut them in half. They're like little circles, but I have to cut them in half and take it because, if I take a whole one, I tried taking a whole one and I swear to God, I thought I was going to meet my maker. Child, I don't like having that. So here we are. What I did, Married at First Sight Nashville, y'all. So what I did, we're only going to talk about the couples that got married, and we're going right down from in order, and I already numbered them. So let's just get into Kirsten and Shaq. I'm gonna start and say, let me look at my notes though. I'm gonna start and say that I take what I said back last week about Shaquille being gay or thinking that he was gay. I will take that back because in watching him during the wedding when he saw her and then when he was speaking, I was like,
So I wonder about your girl Tracy. I wonder how she's feeling about that comment last week because she was like, I agree with Tanya.
Yeah, I'm only going to say this. I'm taking it back after this episode. Now, I might next week revisit it and change my mind. I'm not confirming. This week, after this episode, I'm thinking he is straight.
Can you go back and watch last week and just see because his demeanor really didn't change from one week to the other.
He was a little bit more reserved at the wedding, I think. And that's what kind of in the way when he saw her, that, his reception of her, and he was so excited about, not excited, but he was like really.
No, he was excited.
Yeah, he was excited, but he was like really into her. Like, oh Lord, the Lord gave me everything that I wanted.
He's a beautiful black queen.
Yeah.
She was gorgeous. And he was just like, oh, wow. I cleaned up. And she's like this.
She ain't into him.
I changed my mind on her from last week. I'm on Team Chris with this one. I was she did me like Jasmina did me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Why do you have to be such a shitty person? Why did you even come on there? That means, first of all, he's not ugly. He's
No.
not ugly
No.
at all. He might not be your type. You might not be into him particularly, but he's not ugly. So you will be able to get over your bullshit. And you're not that much. I mean, hello. She's gorgeous. I'm gonna give it to her, but come on, relax. You're not that gorgeous. Oh, you said you were going, Tanya. I took over. I am sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's okay. I'm gonna be quiet. All I'm gonna say is, when she turned her, remember she told her girls, because her friends were like, well, what kind of sign are you going to give us if you're not into him? And she's like, well, if he goes, I'm just going to turn my head. And what did she do? She turned her head all the way. Like, and she was.
Then patted his back.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she's into him.
But did you see her girlfriend's face after she did that? They were like, stop with the bullshit.
But you got to turn the volume up, because not only did her girlfriend's face, she said something. Her girlfriend was like, "Oh no, girl." She said something.
I read it. I had the subtitles.
Like she was like disgusted.
Disgusted.
Yeah.
Her whole face said it. Like, grow up. Just grow up, girl.
But here's the thing. I know this is where I have a problem with people with checklists. I get it that you like a specific type, or you look for different qualities and values and morals in a person. But at the end of the day, when you sign up for something like this, if you're that
particular,
what's the word?
Particular.
Yeah. If you're that particular, this is not for you, because I can't believe that she kept harping on the bald head. And I'm like, that's fixable. Like, I mean, maybe he just chooses to have a bald head and he can grow some hair. That shit's fixable, that you can have a conversation with him like down the road. I ain't worrying about that.
Well, what person in this day and age in 2023 not liking a bald head
on a black man?
So that was really throwing me off, because I don't think. Yeah, I don't see most.
And maybe it has to do something with his scar too. I'm sure if he had hair, and because he has that big scar on his head right here.
But it's not even. It's in.
I know, but if he had hair, he would have probably so covered it up, or some way you would not have seen it. But obviously, maybe something happened to that place where he can't grow hair, and it comes in weird. I don't know, whatever it is. But he's tall. She can't bitch about that. He's a tall, good-looking, nice, presentable.
He's everything that she asked. He has like literally the top 5 or 6 qualities that she was persistent about. He's godly.
Mm-hmm.
He's educated. And when you think about it, he's more educated than she is. He is more successful than she is. This man is a director at a university, a historically Black university, Tennessee State University. He's more successful than she is. He comes from a decent family. He's close to his family. He's got the 4 top things that she has been looking for. She wants to be that power couple. He is it, ma'am. But you focusing on this man's bald head and the scar. To be honest with you, when I watch the matchmaking special, I usually am good about like looking at people. His scar, I never noticed.
I didn't see it until after the wedding.
Yeah, I saw it at the very beginning, but I could also tell that it's not overwhelming scar. It's it's noticeable, but it's not like the first thing you see.
No. I did not pay attention to his scar until the conversation was had when he spoke with Dr. Cal and Pepper about the accident, his family being hit by the drunk driver, and they were all thrown from the vehicle, and he ended up on a barbed wire fence. And that's why, hence the scar. I was not paying attention to this man's scar. So obviously the surgeons did a good job, and the plastic surgeons did the best that they could do to make it that way. And probably that's why he's bald. And probably that's why he's bald, because when you have those types of
major
incisions or tragedies or whatever, you can't injuries. You have the hair's not going to grow back. So he probably, voluntarily shaved his head off because it would look weird if he tried to grow it back.
But why go on the show, Kirsten? Why go on the show? If you want perfection, you're not going to get perfection. No one is perfect. No one is exactly what you want. But if you want someone who's going to be compatible with you, that's good looking enough, that is still good looking, he'd be good looking to another woman. He'd have been like, oh my God, he's beautiful. This, that, and the other. She's so.
And
she's gonna get on my nerves this season.
I had the fourth one, but the fifth one was she wanted somebody that dressed well, that can, be compatible with her flawlessness and hitting the streets and going out for drinks and party and all that. He's all that. He's got your top 5. That man is standing right in front of you. She gives you guys Jasmina vibes. She's giving me Karen vibes with the New Orleans when Karen with Miles. I think she's going to be so standoffish. Remember how Karen was with Miles?
Yeah,
they got married.
It's a combination. It's a good one. That's a good combo.
I have a feeling that because especially if you watch, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. If you watch the after party,
I did watch a little bit.
Every time Rudy Huxtable was talking with regards to Nicole and Gina and her, when the camera was like showing all 3 of them, her head was she just looked like, I don't want to be here. I'm disgusted. I don't like my husband. When the other 2 ladies were talking about their spouses, she's just sitting there like this.
They all agree with her too. All of them disagree with her. They're like, you should at least kiss them.
Thank you.
You should at least get. Everybody was like,
and they made it very clear. You signed up for this. You signed up for Married at First Sight. You're marrying a complete stranger. What is it for you to kiss him? You ain't got to shove your tongue down his throat. But what is it for you to just?
He should have asked me. And they said, well, even if he asked you, would you have kissed him? She went.
And then she said, yes. She would not have.
Would not have.
Because you specifically told your girls when you was getting ready, my sign to you that I'm not into him is I'll probably turn my cheek and let him kiss me on the cheek. And not only did she turn her cheek, she spread her whole ass neck and was like, no, we're not having none of that.
I was disappointed in her.
I am too. I knew she would be like
that. Because I think I said last week, the only couple that I said absolutely looked excellent on paper was them.
And they still do. They still do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But you never account for somebody's shitty attitude.
I'm wondering if he's going to have I just hope he does not get sucked into. Oh my God, she's everything that I've always wanted, and do this for her. And she's just going to be like this and this and this. You know what I mean? If he can be like, oh, you don't like my bald head, or you don't, because there's something off. Because obviously because he's going to treat her with respect. He's going to be nice. He's going to be nice to her. He's going to be as a husband should be. And she's going to be resistant. I hope at one point, if she's so resistant, he's like, you know what? I'm going to let you be over there. You go and do whatever. And then let her come to him. Hopefully that will happen. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen. But if he shows some like, look, I'm in this thing. If you're not in it, it's not a problem. I just want to have because when they get like Chris, when they have that, I just want this so badly. I want it so bad that over. If he can keep to himself of like, I know who I am. I'm a good looking man. I'm a catch. If he can hold on to that and say, I don't know what her problem is, but I'm a catch. Then I think it could work, because then she'll be like, oh, he really doesn't need me, or he's not needy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his demeanor and his personality strikes me as such he ain't gonna put up with that bullshit. He knows he's a catch.
I hope not.
I hope so. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows he's the shit. He knows he can dress. He knows he's successful. He knows his worth.
I hope so.
that can go all out the window if she's a fine woman.
That is true.
All out the window.
All I'm saying is right now his nose is wide open.
Exactly.
He is everything that he wanted on paper. But trust when I tell you, and Chris, you're the man at the table here, you could meet the baddest bitch and be all enamored with her. And after a week, she starts showing you her true ass, and you're going to be like, them layers are going to peel back, and you're going to be, we know you're going to be like, yeah, you're not that attractive to me anymore. You're beautiful.
Yeah, but in this situation, he's all in. It's not about dating. He is all in, and his nose is wide open. I just hope he can get that type of, like, if you keep acting like this, like how I think you're going to act, because he doesn't even know how she feels about him yet. He doesn't know. We know, because we know, because we heard from her. We don't know how. I want to see when he starts to see. Wait a second. What you don't? Wait a second. What? You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I think for them to next week episode, I'm excited to watch, because now we're getting into the wedding receptions and stuff. I'm looking forward to see, that's my favorite part, when the friends, her friends talk to him and his friends and family talk to her. I want to see that dynamic and what is said.
And this too.
My money is betting.
And this too.
At the wedding reception, when it's time to kiss,
is she going to kiss him?
She ain't going to kiss him.
When they go like that with the glasses, and everyone they want him to kiss, is she going to give him a cheek again? She going to give him a cheek again, because she hasn't talked to anybody yet. She hasn't talked to anybody. Her girlfriend's not going, "Girl, you need to fucking kiss him. You need to kiss him."
But you know how it is when you are just not attracted to somebody. Sometimes it's just hard to, but that's okay. But again, like you're all saying, don't sign up for this kind of process.
Right.
You got
at least be open to it.
Huh?
If she was like, I would rather have a guy have hair, this and that, but he's this, that, and the other. She didn't even have that. She's just like, oh no, that's. She said 2 strikes.
Yeah, he was at 2 strikes. That's shocking.
That's 2 things that are not as perfect as you want. Not 2 strikes.
That's why I feel like, nope, they're not making it. They're not making it on her.
Depends.
All on her.
If she comes around, yeah.
If she comes around, okay, yeah, you're right.
I don't think she's gonna come around. I think she's going to do like Jasmina and Karen and just ride the train and ride the train.
Karen is still married to Miles.
Well, wait a minute. That may not be true.
I know I've been reading that they may be separated or not, but it's not confirmed. But as for today,
but she has not put anything on her Instagram. If you go to her Instagram, it's all her and Miles. Everything is like swiped, and I'm like, y'all just don't want to, admit it, but just admit it, or be like Katina.
But the point is basically Karen went along and did it. Jasmina did not.
Right.
But Karen, after all her bullshit, and everybody thought she was going to say no, she said yes, which shocked us all. Nobody.
But I'm saying, just do like even Katina and Olajuwon. We're not, give us our privacy at this time. We're trying to figure it out. We're not together, whatever. And then the next week, now you go to both their Instagrams and she's sitting on his lap. They're trying to make love work. They're trying to make this marriage work. And I'm like,
what I have a huge problem with at these wedding receptions, and we've talked about this before on this podcast, is when you're saying your vows and you're looking at the man and the woman in front of you and you're like, till death do us part, in sickness and in health, I'm going to give you everything that I, want and need. And I'm going like this.
Lies.
You don't believe that. Why would you say that?
Yeah,
why would you say
I was
that?
thinking the same thing this time.
I'm going to be the person. Now, I believe him when he's like, I'm going to be the best man I can be for you and this, that, and the. I wish the vows were not so about the two of you, but what you can bring to, as much as you can bring to the thing. I'm going to not try, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this for you. But don't give me that till death do us part and sickness and health and blah, blah, blah. If you don't really believe that, if you don't believe that, you can't say that. And that's what marriage, that whole marriage thing, wedding thing, it gets me. It gets me.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But equally with married at first sight, it's one thing if you've been dating someone and then you do it the normal way. You've dated someone and you're in love with each other, things are going great, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, he proposes. Oh yes, I can see that when you have your vows until death do us part, in sickness and in health, especially if I've spent a good amount of time with you and I know you and we're comfortable with each other and in love with each other, it's a whole nother nut when I'm going married at first sight. I ain't saying none of that shit. I will pull out the try and I will do that shit. I'll be like, let me get my vows. Hey, stranger, we both are crazy and we signed up for this. These would be my vows. We both signed up for this because we're both done with the dating scene. We're done with the bullshit and the games, period. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get married and I'm going to try. I'm going to give my all. I'm going to try to give my all. I'm going to try to support you and be there for you and lift you up. I'm taking away the sickness and the health and all that bullshit now. And I'll be like, if this marriage succeeds and we're happy, then we're going to have a whole nother wedding on our own. And that's when I'll pull out the till death do us part bullshit. Not sorry. So and then I would be off of Lifetime.
Who's next?
Oh, who's next? Oh, the next couple that got married. Oh, Lord. Nicole. Was it Nicole and Christopher that got married next?
Well, we can talk about them.
They are my favorite. I love them to death.
I like him. I do. I am not a fan of her. She is just too much for me.
I know she'd be too much for you. You like
too much for me.
She's way too much for you.
No, she is too much. But it's like you walk away and then you can come back to her. I love her. I love her to death.
But the fact is, she wants it so bad.
Yeah.
But
and bless her heart. And bless her heart for being honest and open about it. She's crying when she got the gift from and doesn't even know the man. She's like, I love him.
Come on, that was perfect though.
No, I'm not mad at it. But she's like, she's so honest about her. She's like, I just want someone to think that I'm special and loved and this and the other. And Chris is gonna be like, well, I think I love her.
Can we talk about that? First of all, thank you for doing that, Chris. Chris, what is it with the Chris's on Married at First Sight? Everybody's named Chris. We got to do a show about that. Everybody named Chris. Look, I don't know who told. It's like American Idol and America's Got Talent. Just because your family and your mama says, oh, baby, you so talented, you can sing, you could do great impressions, don't mean you need to bring your ass out there in the public and do that shit. Because his impressions are just straight gutter, trash, horrible.
They were gutter, but you hanging out with your friend who goes out and does that is funny.
He looks like he's always smelling. He's smiling, but smelling something wrong at the same time. He says like this.
Like he's smelling sweet shit.
He always looks like I've never seen him be comfortable. Like Lance,
very
Lance or whatever. Luke, what is the guy's name?
He's wound up.
Clark? Who's the guy with the open shirt? Who slept with 60+ women?
Will Chamberlain?
Clint. He's not like Clint. Clint's relaxed all the time. Clint's like, hey,
like Will Chamberlain.
You can see. I've never seen Chris so far.
Will Chamberlain. Bitch, Will Chamberlain slept with like 5,000 bitches.
2,000.
Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. Go ahead,
I've never seen Chris comfortable yet. I haven't seen him, even with his friends, he's not comfortable.
No.
I haven't seen him have a kind of a like, okay, I'm good. Even when he's relaxed, he's kind of like nervous.
But
and wait, one more thing.
No,
why was he in that gray tuxedo? It did not look good. It didn't fit him well. No. I was like, what are you doing? His friends were like, oh, that's the one. The blue, he had a blue. I think did he have a blue one on, or I don't know.
The blue
he looked better than the other one than that the one he had on. So
I'll just say this. I'm gonna need Married at First Sight. Can we just now that we're like in what, the 16th season, Married at First Sight Lifetime, let's take out the bridal gown shopping and the suit shopping.
Can we do a petition?
I get it that you want to have that dialogue with the family members and the friends and, see their emotional stuff. We don't care about that anymore. I cared about it in the beginning because they kept that shit secret. Like, you didn't see this. You didn't even know who these couples were until like the matchmaking episode. And then they weren't giving out, previews to the new episodes where they're getting married and what they look like in their marital attire. So look at here. Somebody talk to Lifetime and tell them, just cut that out. Because that's like fucking 9 hours of our life that we can get back.
Yeah, it's way too long.
It's way too long.
Do a petition.
So
he's gonna be a lot. She's still going. And I said also to the TV, I said, oh, she's gonna eat him up though. She's gonna eat him up, and he better not be. I think she may be too boring for him. I hope they work. I hope, because he really wants it, and he wants to be the nicest. But I hope she doesn't. I think she kind of needs a little pushback, little bit, and I don't think he's gonna give any pushback.
But I think I will say this: as much as I'm not fond of her, I really liked, and I kind of got a little like choked up that when they exchanged them little gifts, and they had so much in common. And she was like, I think his name's going to be Chris. And he's like, I think her name's going to be Nicole. For me, I believe in stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe this is meant to be. She's just a little over the top. And maybe I think last week I said, I don't think none of them are going to survive. But this is the couple. This might be my back of the pocket. I think out of all the couples so far, I think Nicole and Chris might work if he's willing to put up with her over the top.
Oh, he is.
I think so. I think
they're gonna work.
I think that this might work, and they might be one of the most successful, one of a good, they might be like oh God, I'm not even gonna say it. I take it back. I think that they're going to be I think that if they keep on, they'll be a really good couple, because she looks like a ride or die. Like, she's happy with him so far. And I think if he keeps on and they're good, she's going to be like, that's my boo. We good here.
So you hear what you're saying?
Did I say we was going on too long? Did I say that?
Oh. No, I said, what were you saying? What were you saying? You're about to say something about that.
I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no, I really like Nicole. I think both of them. I know she's a bit overbearing, but I still feel like I would be a friend of hers with no problem. Him, I think that she might be a little bit too much, but in the long run, he's gonna feel like she's the breath of fresh air that he always wanted. And I thought their gifts were so thoughtful.
Oh my God, that was
on both sides.
Amazing. I like them, even though I couldn't be friends with her because I'm over the top too. So let's just call it what it is. I'm an over the top person. I can't be friends with someone that's equally just like me. Period. At the story. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm friends with you guys and love you guys, because you keep me sane. Did you guys want to talk about anything else with Nicole and Clint? Nicole and Chris?
No, I think she's gonna eat him up. She's gonna eat him alive.
I give Nicole right now. I will give Nicole and Chris a thumbs up. Whether or not my shit might change next week. It's a week by week basis with me. The next couple, the final couple that got married. You notice how Married at First Sight, y'all are trifling, but we love you. And when you're ready to get our asses on with Kevin Frazier, Holla at your bitches, because we here.
Why they always gotta be bitches?
But they always, because we bitches, we good. That's a term of endearment. When somebody else calls us that, I'm breaking off a brick on that.
So go ahead. So what about them?
I gotta love how they do the couples, because they save the most trifling for next week. The 2 final weddings next week. That shit's gonna be cray. But I digress. We're gonna go to Gina and Clint, and all I'm gonna say, no homo, but Gina, goddamn, I think she's stunning. I think she's gorgeous. Do you agree?
I think she's pretty. She got body.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's got a big mouth.
You know what she reminds me of?
I do not like her mouth. She looked like but yeah, I was gonna say she did look like Jaws.
But yeah. She's
nice looking. She's not ugly by a long shot.
I like the way that she carries herself. She doesn't seem full of herself. She seems like I'm the shit. I know who I am. Like, I can relate to her. Like, she's like, I got my shit. I'm good. I like her. Clint, on the other hand, I still want to know Clint's deal. Like, I don't know, because I was so high last week. I mean, I can't remember what we talked about last week. I'm just going to be brutally honest. But did we figure out? Well, he did say to her what he did for a living, which for me, I'm like,
what did he say? Did I miss that?
He was in tech. He does like,
okay.
He's got his hand in this. He's got his hand in that.
Again.
No, bro, what do you do? Like, what's your job title and what company do you work for? He didn't have to say that, but I'm like, but what do you do?
Yeah,
I think he's a trust fund baby.
I think so too.
I think he's a trust fund baby. And I think that he comes from old money, because he said, I'm like a 4th generation or 3rd generation of sailors. You ain't sailing no boat, no big ass boat, if your family ain't got no money. Period. End of story.
Doesn't he have multiple boats?
Multiple boats. He does. So I'm pretty sure the boats that Clint has, his daddy got probably 10 more better than him. So I think Clint is a trust fund baby living off of the family sack. And he's just doing him.
That's why I don't think that he's good enough for her, because she seems like she's a hard worker. She has goals that are attainable, but we can actually see he is just, oh, I want to be this, I want to do this, and he has no substantial. I don't think he has a substantial job. I just need to hear it. I just need to hear what specific that you're at in tech or whatever. So, but for her, she deserves somebody that's a little less. I feel like he's flighty.
I think so too. No, I don't think he's flighty. I think his end game is, he said what he wanted. He wanted someone that was spur of the moment, that could go on the ship or the boat, whatever you call that shit, and travel and do whatever. And she said all that. But I think with her, she wants that, but she's like, I'm assuming within reason. Yo, bro, I'm a business owner. I got my shit I got to deal with.
Shit.
Like, I'm not gonna wake up, like, we can't wake up on Monday and you say, how about we go out for a sale? Boo-boo. I gotta go do some hair.
Monday's the salon is closed, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Mondays would be their good days. So yeah, you're right, Chris.
No, and they started opening those jokers on Monday too. Those are the good ones.
Listen, those are the VIPs. If you're willing to spend your money, I'll open my shop up too. And I'm not even a hairdresser.
What you talking about?
I think first of all, as he looked at her. What?
So as we take that pause, it's about that time.
When he saw her coming down the aisle, I could see him going, okay, I can work with this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was nervous before.
You didn't? I did see that in him.
Totally.
Too.
Oh, totally. He was looking at her like, he was looking at it, studying. He was like, okay. It's like, okay. And then he saw her and he gave her a big hug and the kiss at the end. I thought he was.
Let me tell you.
You thought he was gay?
Exactly.
No. I saw a fucking man whore because he made it very clear that he fucked 65 women. He had no problem with spilling that tea. I saw a man whore. Like he saw her come down with that Hollywood glamour. When I tell you that bitch rocked Hollywood glamour, to me, I'm saying, in my Joan Rivers fashion police voice. She had the hair. I think his face, he was like, I'm gonna fuck that bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck my wife. If I'm gonna have someone
anything to do with, I could see myself spending the rest of my life where I looked at him, I looked at his
he's
face.
Standing there he's at the aisle. He's at the aisle going, what do I have to for the rest of my life? I have to fuck that? I can work with that.
But here's the thing. How can you say that when the two of them live in the same building? Did you peep that shit? When he's like, awesome. She's like, where do you live? And he's like, oh, I live in he had to show his shine and sling his big dick. I live in a high-rise penthouse downtown. And she's like, oh, which one?
Penthouse. He's in the penthouse. He's in the penthouse.
He said a high-rise, which had to be like the fancy place in Nashville, I'm assuming.
Right.
And,
but I'm thinking in.
But she's like, well, which one? And he said, oh, 505. And she was like, oh, Jesus, I live in 505. And you see, he was shook when she said that.
I missed this total part, and I watched the whole thing.
You missed it all. Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Right after the wedding, they were talking. He's like, where do you live? It's like, I live
But I caught up at the end when they were talking after.
Oh, no. She said, I live in 505 too.
Yeah, I do too. And then in the after party, she said that she knew that she had seen him in the elevator, and the people were coming to film, and they said she saw someone with a earpiece.
She went to walk her dog.
Said, are you here for me? She's like, oh, we just need to get some footage. And then the bellman or the desk plan said, oh, they're interviewing an old man.
Let's call it right.
They're interviewing an old man.
They're interviewing an old man.
And that old man was him.
That old man was him. So you can't tell me that you live in this building together and you haven't seen each other, whether it be going to the gym.
Yeah. She saw them in the elevator.
So I'm saying to myself, now he's probably seen her like normal, and he's like, yeah, that bitch ain't my type. And now he's seen her all the way up.
She said she saw him in the elevator once, but those buildings are big. And there's a lot of people in those things that you would never see.
Yeah, but this is not New York. This is Nashville. So if they're downtown, they could be a high rise. But when the high rise, I'm thinking like maybe 15, 20 floors. This ain't New York City where it's like friggin' 150 stories up until the top.
This is a huge. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up online.
But anyway,
I will say this. I liked their wedding was my favorite. I will say that because they really truly look like they
45 stories.
Oh, is it 45 stories?
Yes, it's 45 stories.
I take it back. I like the fact that she had the dog come down the aisle and have the rings. I liked it. I like them. I think it might be well, I wouldn't say annoying Steve type of thing because Miss Gina got her own. I think that he's going to be this like fantasist that wants to I want to travel. I want to do my pilot simulation games, which I find very creepy in his house. I'm all for a man in his video games, but that shit is just too much for me where he's like, simulating he's a pilot in his living room. And I'm like, weird. And rowing his boats or sailing on his boats. I'm just like, meh, doesn't work for me. Well, okay,
45 stories.
I can see. Okay, then I take it back. I can see how you can live there and not run into him or not see him or maybe see him and not pay him any mind.
And probably because his ass ain't home half the time anyway because he's on a boat.
That's what he said.
Oh, so I didn't see it. But I will say,
why haven't I seen you at the pool? And he said, oh, I'm usually on my day off, I go to the boat.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I don't think he has days off. I don't think he works, honestly. I think his days off are every day, Sunday to Sunday, 7 days a week, from 8 a.m. until midnight, from 8 a.m. Sunday this week till 8 a.m. Sunday the next week.
My God.
There are
his family tit.
2,000 units in that place. 2,000 residential units, 500,000 square feet of retail.
Oh, well, I can't wait until they move in together, because we're gonna see when they move in which unit they move in, who has the bigger unit and who's on the higher floor. I'm leading to think that Gina's on the higher floor, and he's gonna have his little wee. He's gonna be like, just saying.
But he got old money too, maybe. So
I'm telling you, that man is. I shouldn't call him a boy because he's a 40-year-old man. That man is a trust fund baby. He comes from old money, and I wouldn't even say old money. Fourth generation. Yeah, he old money. He living off of the family. He living off of the family coin.
Beautiful place.
I'm not mad. I'm just a hater because I wish I had some 4th-generation family coin that I can live off of and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go get my nails done today because I got no job.
Saltwater pool, 50-foot sunbathing terrace, rooftop tennis court, pickleball, bocce ball, fire pit lounges, grilling trellises, poolside cabanas, extensive dog park, lay-by arrival experience, multiple lounges, top-line fitness center.
Clarify for me, are they apartments or condos?
The apartments.
Look it up and see. Look at the layout and see what's the rent.
Yeah, so I got you. Keep talking.
Why are you so desperate?
Listen, I just gotta see. Am I moving to Las Vegas?
Okay.
I want to move to Las Vegas. Kidding me? I've been there, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a great place to visit, but you can never have. And Shahida, I know you lived in Mississippi. I take that back. I ain't never living in nobody's Tennessee.
I liked Nashville when I went. I loved
Nashville and I loved Memphis.
And I loved Memphis too.
Cheap.
I'm not doing any South.
Under 2,000 and over 2,800.
What? Over 2,000?
There's under 2,000, 2,000 to 2,400, 2,400 to 2,800, and over 2,800.
Oh, so if we want to live on the 45th floor, we're probably going to pay like $4,000 a month.
With a private elevator.
Yeah, I want a private elevator concierge and the whole nine.
There's a 2-bedroom.
Who else got married? That was it, right?
2-bedroom, 2-bath for 1,000 square feet for $3,725. That's reasonable.
That is reasonable.
That's a big one too. 1,000 square feet.
Oh,
wow.
That's a lot of room though in an apartment. So that was all right. So we digressed on the whole apartment thing because that's how we do. Those were the weddings. So,
but what about I do want to talk about the prep wedding that we're gonna see next week.
Yes, Jasmine and Aris wedding was about to start, y'all.
So do you think Clinton and Gina gonna make it? No,
I don't think so.
That was I mean, I know I'm but anyway, nothing.
You don't think she likes him?
Yes, I do.
I think
first impressions are great.
Yes.
But you don't think it's gonna last?
We'll see the honeymoon.
I don't think that he is good enough for her. I think that she's more practical. I understand that she wants to be free, but I don't think that much freedom she wants.
And I don't think that Clint is done with his dogged ass ways. I think that he's like a 40-year-old man who's been
I can see him being done though.
Who's been told by his family and friends, bro, like, come on, it's time. Like, stop flinging your dick in the streets and find a wife. I think he's going with the family and friends, suggestions. I think that I just got to see. I don't even think nothing. I think we have to see the honeymoon, the night next week, the reception, the night of the wedding, the friends conversations. I got to see that before I can
basically watch the show to see how it pans out.
Basically, yeah.
I thought the blue tux was much better than his open shirt tan tux. Like he's going.
Oh, what?
I like the blue. I like the blue one.
I didn't like the blue tux on him. The blue tux.
I didn't like the blue tux either, but I didn't like that
blue.
bullshit he pulled out.
Right.
I mean, he didn't pick anything better, but it was way better than that blue tux. That blue tux was just not authentic on him. Even Chris tried on the blue tux, and I was like, no. Men, can we just agree to disagree that when you get married, just wear a the solid black classic tuxedo is always.
I like that maroon that
I was getting ready to say I like some.
I like that maroon. I like maybe a little color.
I don't like color.
I like that blue. I don't know.
I don't like it.
I'm always gonna stand for gray.
Not white at all.
No white at a wedding. No man should ever wear a white tuxedo or white suit at his wedding ever. And that's a black man thing.
Trust me. My biggest thing, the whole thing is how you as a beauty queen. You are a beauty queen because you're a beautiful girl.
We're talking about have we thank you. Have we talked? We've moving on to Jasmine and Aris. Girl, I put that.
Did I? I was talking about him.
Gina, say that again. Let's rewind. Say that again. Say it again.
Say what again?
Say what you just said about Jasmine, the beauty queen with the.
It was taping, right? Was it not? But anyway, she's a beautiful girl, but she needs to fix her mouth. I don't know what's going on with that. She's too young.
And the representatives of all these so-called pageants, I'm not a pageant girl. Well, we need to get Vanessa on this one and get her intake on that. You got to ask Vanessa that because I'm not a pageant girl. But I'm saying to myself, if you win in all these pageants, I'm sorry, there's got to be somebody in the background.
What does the other chicks look like?
Be like, girl, fix your teeth. You got to get some Invisalign or something up in there or some dentures or something. Because her teeth is wrecked. She's got yuck mouth. And I'm going to show our age. Remember yuck mouth? They call me yuck mouth because I don't brush. Shahida, you know, we grew up in the same area. Chris, you may not have gotten that after school thing in New York.
Everybody knew that.
They call me yuck mouth.
I don't know.
About the teeth.
Yes.
But she's
pretty. She's pretty.
She is. She's not ugly. She needs to fix that.
She needs to address
it. Not right in 2023.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
She was
It's your turn.
She's the one with all the family. She was the one. I'm sorry. She was the one that the second person that I thought was most ready for marriage. If I can remember the things that she said, she sounded like she had a good plan for marriage, what she wanted out of a man and what she was looking for. I don't think he's good enough for her. We'll see. But I liked her personality. I like how she spoke.
Yeah, I think she's ready. I don't know how she's gonna feel when she sees him, because when they showed it, she had said when she was talking to her like bridesmaids or who people in her little suite, she was like, I hope he just takes care of his body and he works out, and he's just as athletic as I am. And I'm like, that man is like a little bit of a man right there. Like what I see on TV, he doesn't strike me as being that tall or that, worked out or what have you. So I'm like,
No, did you when they showed him jogging and he didn't have his shirt on?
Yeah, but
he looked good.
He's fit.
Can we talk about his cousin Felina? I think Felina is I think Felina got a little crush on her cousin man there, because she's like, you don't have to do this. And the way I'm looking at her facial expression, how she's looking at him, she's like, you don't have to do this. We just leave right now. I know I'm getting above myself, but I'm just saying another thing that's besides the point. Another thing I wanted to address is people, when you have a wedding, dress codes need to be enforced.
Yes, someone came in on something. I was like, why is he wearing that?
He had a wool hat. Did you see the brother that came in that was walking in Jasmine and Aris's wedding? They were showing the guests walking in. This brother had on a friggin' t-shirt and a wool hat, like a beanie on his head. And I'm like, bro, you coming to a wedding? And even Aris's cousin Felina, she had this dress that literally it was like cut right here. And it was so short. And I'm saying to myself, don't people understand that how to dress for a wedding?
Well, maybe they don't believe it's going to be anything substantial because it's, on TV and Married at First Sight.
Still, you're going to be on TV. Like if my cousin or friend, like if Shahida was like, I'm going to go on Married at First Sight and get selected and I'm showing up, I'll be a bridesmaid, number one. Please believe me, I'm showing up and showing out. I'm going to be looking flawless because I'm going on national TV and that's just going to be on TV forever. Felina is going to be looking at herself 20 years from now and say, what the fuck was I thinking? And now her raggedy ass is on TV forever. And let's not get me started because I'm like Joan Rivers right now. I'm channeling my Joan Rivers. And then we're going to stop. Look here. I forgot who it was. I think it was Kirsten. Was it Kirsten? Or was it Jasmine? That had the mother. Who had the mother that was diagnosed with breast cancer? Was that Jasmine? The wedding dress shopping.
Yeah, that was Jasmine.
Yeah.
Well, is it Jasmine or Jasmine?
No, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
I think it's Jasmine.
Jasmine. But like Jasmine's friend, like, girl, you're going to be on TV. And she had her hair braids in that looked like they was like 3 months done ago with that blue hair hanging out. And I was like, oh, sis, your camera's going to be there. Get your shit right.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the young girl, Dominique.
No, Dominique's mother was not her. She's very elegant.
And her grandmother there.
Yeah,
she's Jasmine. Yeah,
it was Jasmine. But I'm just like, I don't understand how folks don't understand. Y'all about to be on national TV. Get your shit together. Go get your hair rebraided. You can even keep the blue braids as long as they look good. Her shit looked like she woke up 3 months later after she got them braided. Hot mess. What else do I have to talk about with regards to? Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm done. So yeah, I think next week we've got the finalization of Jasmine and Aris's wedding, and then we've got what's her name? Dominique and McKinley.
Mm-hmm. So what was the preview? What was the preview you saw?
Everyone talking to their family.
Yeah.
They said, she said to Mac, the mother said to Mac, she's like, well, he's nice, but Jeffrey Dahmer was nice too.
Ooh, I love that.
I saw that. So that's supposed to be. Okay.
When her mother said that, I was like, because the way Dominique's mother said it, she was looking at him like, this is not what her face, her eyes said it. This is not what I wanted for my child. Period. And I think that in the matchmaking show, I'm sorry, but race plays a part. I'm tired of these people like, oh, race doesn't mean much to me. I don't really care. But when it slaps you in the face, it matters. I'm not marrying. I'm sorry. I'm not marrying somebody out of my race and my culture at first sight. Not going to happen. I'm not.
I get that.
If you're open to that, though.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the couple on Netflix. The Netflix couple.
I wouldn't be open to that.
Yeah, they're good.
I love them as a couple.
Yeah,
and she had never dated outside her race, and she was just, she said, "Oh, they set me up. I'm gonna go ahead and try it."
That's a win in a million, y'all. That's a win.
And I'm pretty sure in any situation. But I asked you guys earlier this week too. Do you remember in season 8 was there a mixed race couple? Or no, they were both the same race, but the guy, he was a white guy, and he said he specifically dated Black women, and then he ended up. Tracy said season 8. I'm bringing this up for season 8, and I'm like, I know I didn't see the earlier.
I don't know. I can't remember.
But anyway,
you know what? Anyway, that's season 8. We're at season 16. We're over that. Look at here. I can't wait. Oh, wait, one more thing. On the after party, we were so talking about how Nicole and Chris gave each other such really, really great gifts, wedding gifts. Did y'all look, yo? This is when I noticed Clint is not authentic. Guess what Clint gave Gina?
That was foul.
What?
He gave her gloves. Like riding, like sailing gloves, like literally the cheap looking little sailing gloves that you just pick up off the rack. And she showed it on the after party with Rudy Huxtable, and I was like, no.
And she gave him like monogrammed.
She gave him a monogrammed liquor bottle with the date and the glasses. But on the bottle, the canister that you put like your whiskey and stuff in, she put the date of their wedding and then had the matching glasses. She gave him that. And this bitch she's like, look, on the thing, they were like, got my gloves to go on the boat. So he's got an ulterior motive. Like, he's like, I ain't budging, bitch. You getting on this boat. Period.
I don't think he has an ulterior motive. That's just what he wants. He's saying that loud and clear.
That's his life. All right, so we're gonna see y'all next week, but let's Chris, I'm moisturizing my lips. You got something for us? What's happening next?
January 19th. January 19th. Is that next week? Yeah. January 19th, I'll be on CSI Vegas.
That's exciting. I watched that one, and
I'm accused of killing my wife.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
I can see you in a nasty, sinister role. What's your job?
If you look at CSI Miami, I did kill my secretary and my partner.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that. I put it in my Outlook, and now I'm going to go into my DVR.
By the way, in 2018, Pastor Cal said, how can I say this? Here's a big problem I have. One of the biggest problems we have on the show, we're trying to match, is finding black men who want black women. I can say that, and that's the problem, but I believe it's bigger than Married at First Sight.
Oh, it is bigger than Married at First Sight. Absolutely.
Pastor Cal said that. No, he said,
He ain't lying. Just go on TikTok. Oh,
in regard to marrying an interracial couple, they've tried repeatedly, but haven't been able to do so because some who audition are more enthusiastic about the idea than others. As for interracial, I would love to see an interracial couple. We tried every season to do that. It's very difficult because when it comes to black men and white women, we can't find black men who want white women. We can't find as many white women who want black men. Or we can find black men, but we can't find as many white women who want black men. So
yeah. That doesn't surprise me. It's got
on the other side, when you have black women and white men, I've seen black women who may want white men, but I haven't seen a lot of white men who put their profiles that I want a black woman.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A black queen.
Well, it's been real, y'all. So look at here. We're excited. And it's our anniversary. Go ahead. It's like, what date, Chris? I gotta go back.
It'll come up on my time hop. I'll let you know.
Yeah, we are approaching our 2-year anniversary. This is our 4th season. Me and Shahida started out, and then 2 years ago we got Chris on as a guest, and we can't quit him. He's our new. Well, not new.
You smile like Chris.
He's crying, mom, like he's like being held prisoner.
I feel nervous. I feel so bad.
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that like a random DM? I slid into Chris's DMs and was like, "You want to be on our? You want to be on our?" Okay. And he's like, "Okay." And I was like,
"You're so easy. You're so easy."
I'm not doing anything the next 2 weeks.
He was so easy, but yeah, because you were cooped up in your hotel in Vancouver on lockdown, and I said to Shahida, I'm like, he responded, and I don't think that's him. He lying. And then I even went so far to be like, do you have, because I'm like, he's a celebrity. He's not going to give us his personal information. And I'm like, okay, you really want to be on this podcast? Okay, well, I'll send the link to your management company or publicist. And you're like, here's my email. And I was like, the fuck?
I knew we were going to have an email.
Yeah, hello.
Even better, we do the podcast, we have a ball, and we became instant friends, the three of us. And now we're like family. But the funniest part about it was even after the podcast, I don't know if I told you this, after the podcast, when I was like, I want to send you something. Can you send me the name of your management? I'm thinking I'm going to send it to like whoever the fucking on Hollywood Boulevard. And you were like, here's my address. And I'm like, this motherfucker really give me his address? I'm like, that's a whole level of trust.
We need to rewatch that.
We should rewatch that. That would be awesome.
It probably isn't on YouTube. Is it just on audio?
Oh, it's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
Everything's on YouTube. I think. Wait, hold on. I think that one is on. I think that one.
Oh yeah, because when we did,
I have to go back and look.
We did audio.
Yeah. No, we did that on that. We did that on YouTube because it was on video because I was upstairs in my office. I remember that one. Yeah.
I remember being on for it.
All
right, I do now. I can't think, but anyway, go ahead.
All right, listen, it's MLK weekend. I'm off on Monday. Shahida, you off on Monday?
Yep.
All right, Chris, I already know you off on Monday.
I'm off every day.
I know, but I'm gonna need everybody. It's a day of giving on Monday. Do something nice. Give something of yourselves if you can afford it. Give something of yourselves on Monday, to someone less fortunate than yourself, in the spirit of Martin Luther King. We love you guys.